The first thing I remembered when I woke up was being wheeled in on a trolley to theatre to have my baby. This wasn't what I'd planned. But had it all been a dream, or rather, a nightmare? My head was pounding and I felt dizzy. Then I saw a photograph. A tiny baby, wrapped in plastic, eyes shut. A little boy. What was his name? Where was he? Was he alone? Was my husband with him? So many questions. I felt I was in the dark, not knowing, the strangest feeling. The midwife came over and explained things to me. I was unwell, high blood pressure and fitting. I needed to be monitored. My baby had been born by caesarean. He wasn't growing and they were worried. He was in the neonatal unit with my husband. I needed to see him, meet him in person, my son. When I saw him, it didn't feel real in any way. Everything was dark except for the lights of the monitors and machines, flashing, bright, red. A room of incubators and babies attached to various devices. This place was to be our home for the next 4 months. So far away from our real home, miles and miles away. I thought of my daughter back at home. She was with my parents as I had to be referred to this hospital and not our local. What was she thinking at this time? The next few weeks were difficult and very long. We finally named him Ben, our Ben. I got stronger and I was able to come and sit next to the incubator for those long days, missing home, missing my daughter and my husband so far away. They would come at weekends to visit so she could carry on a sense of normality in the week, at school and so on. But it was strange, not having a real family life. I felt institutionalized. This period of darkness almost felt like being in prison. I lived on the unit, lived in the parent accommodation, never leaving. I couldn't. How could I leave him? One particularly dark night, he became very sick. Ventilator, pumps, drugs all full on. But my boy was not responding. They wanted to move us to a side room, but I couldn't. This was awful enough without being isolated, imprisoned in more darkness. It turned out he needed surgery on his bowel to remove the part that was bad. My family came in and we tried to prepare for the worst before he disappeared down the corridor to theatre. But after surgery, things miraculously changed for the better. He fought through, as we did, each day getting better, moving further and further towards the light through this period of darkness. We were transferred to our local, such a momentous day, back home, nearer to normality, and coming back together as a family. 4 months after being born, we were finally home, supported by the community team as he was tube-fed and on oxygen for a while. But the family was together. It was so important. It's not been easy. I struggled to bond with him and was diagnosed with depression. My daughter needed some counselling too. But with the right support from the right people and from other wonderful parents, we're getting there together. Life can be challenging for Ben due to some of the problems he came home with, from being born prematurely. But the memories are now of light, not darkness, and of colour, and importantly, of the people who made our first days as a family so special.